Hi everybody, Steel here from Steel's Dreams. So coming up, part of our body swaps. This is a, where we go up here, 2013 cop car Caprice. This one, they all came with the 6.0s, basically an LS2 engine in them with DOD, replacement on demand. This car here has no engine in it. It was used by, I forget how I got it. It was, I think, one of my son's cars that they use engine in something else. So I'm gonna probably put a 5.3 in it and put this car, 1961 Impala. Okay. So I bought this car probably 3 years ago. They wanted a 61 Impala. I'm a 61 GM freak. I have all of them except for the Pontiac. I have the Olds, I have the Cadillac, I have the Buick, and I have the Impala. So this car is kind of a turd. It's got zero floor in it. It's got the rust in the fenders. It's pretty rough. So it's the kind of car I seek out when I'm doing a lot of my body swaps. I like them to have a lot of floor rust because they're going to be cheap. As you can see, someone's already done some ho-hum work to it. You need some patch panels in the back, but around the roof it's solid, and it's got all the parts on it that I pretty much need to build myself a 61 Impala custom. So the wheelbase is the same as the Caprice. The track width is narrower, so it'll have a little extra, almost the same actually. I'm sorry. The cars is a little bit wider, so we can have pretty wide tires on the back of it. But the track on the Caprice is wider than the Impala. So, like I said, it'll still have a nice tire in the back of it, but it's not going to look like an F100 with a I don't know, what do you call those things? Crown Victoria underneath it. So that isn't the situation here. It's going to look normal. So, not sure. I'm probably going to try to retain the original Impala dash, which is a lot of work on when we're doing these cars, because as you can see in the Caprice, there's a lot of crap in there. So anyway, that's our upcoming one of our upcoming body swaps. I wanted to kind of pre-show everybody. I think that car. There's the engine compartment. Got too much room. Car had a high hit, so it just basically took the hood and everything else out on it. I buy these cars with the engine and trans in them around $4,500, well, $35 to $5,500, put it that way. So this one I got for free because, of course, my son gave it to me because he already used the engine training out of it. So we're going to put a 5.3, probably a turbo 5.3 or something like that in it, something weird. But the suspension is where it's at. It's got a badass suspension in these things. They ride crazy and they handle really, really good. So we use the floor out of this car also. This car has, the Impala, the floor is gone. So we're going to take it and we're going to trim it off of the rockers. We're going to put it over top of this car. The rockers in the Impala are actually, or the pinch well is what you look at, which is where the rockers and the inner rock floor pan and the rockers meet, okay? We call it the pinch well right there at the door, okay, or at the bottom of the car. That pinch well in the Impala is actually about 2 inches wider than the Caprice. So we have a little bit of room to put that car right on top of this platform. Wheelbase is it's off by half an inch. Big deal. This car is gonna look sick. Will handle nice and don't have to worry about. So let's do economics real quick. Let's do Steel's version of hot rod economics. So let's say I go out to Classic and I buy a full floor pan for that Impala. How much is it? Probably $1,200. Probably on back order right now. And then you gotta trim it all out. You're gonna put it all in, wall it all in. Ugh. Okay, then most of the time, if the floor is that rusted, so is the frame. So you're gonna do some frame repairs, or you're gonna have a rusty frame. So you're gonna deal with the framework. Okay, so let's say I bought this car with a motor in it. this Caprice. Or maybe I use one of the cars I have an engine in, which I might do also. I have one in the back I have two in the back with engines and transes. So let's say we use the one with the engine in it. Okay, we run that car with that LS2, we take the DOD out of it, put a sloppy cam in it, we got a 425 horse car with 6-speed, put a wiring harness in it, big deal. Or those cars in the back with the engine in it, we run it with the already factory harness, factory air conditioning, run all this stuff off the factory, okay? This car, of course, because it's stripped down so much and the wiring harness has been chopped up, we're gonna have to put a harness, or we have to use an aftermarket harness plus the aftermarket harness in the car. Big deal. But at the end of the day, finance-wise, okay, say I bought that car for $4,500, right in the middle, okay, with a motor. You couldn't buy the parts to build that Impala for $4,500. It's not going to happen, okay? The motor alone is $4,500, okay? Plus you get the suspension, front and rear, 4-wheel independent, big brakes, Brembo brakes, by the way, I'm sorry, okay? Let's put it that way, big, good brakes, okay? You got bucket front seats, you got, sometimes the back seat's gone because they're cop seats and they're plastic and, you gotta make a seat. Besides, we use the Impala rear seat I still have for it, and it looks right when it's in it, okay? And basic other stuff you're gonna have to do anyways. You're gonna have to chrome all the chrome stuff. You're gonna have to buy the little things here or there. You're gonna have to buy the restoration parts. But your floor pan and your drivetrain are already there. $4,500 in a package. Let's go out and buy the stuff let's do this hot rod style for the Impala. Let's go out and buy us a chassis. 14 grand or more, okay? 4-wheel disc brakes maybe, and a 9-inch in the back. Big deal, okay? Let's say you're gonna go and you're gonna keep the frame and you're gonna add suspension to it, okay? So you're gonna buy the suspension package, which is probably around $6 grand. Plus you're gonna have to do something with the rear end, okay? And you're gonna have to buy the brakes. So you're still into it for 10, okay? And you still haven't bought an engine and transmission yet. It doesn't work, okay? Body swaps are where it's at, okay? That's why I do them. This car is gonna be badass, okay? I've already done a 68 Super B on a 2013 Challenger. Perfect fit. I'll show you guys that coming up later on, okay? So anyway, that Impala is getting probably that Caprice, and then in my other yard, okay, I have a 59 Impala. Okay, is going on another Caprice, okay? Again, same wheelbase as the 61, okay? Basically the same car except with wings, okay? That car is rusted out, that frame is wasted, okay? I paid 13 grand for that Impala. I paid 2 for that one. But you cannot find 59 Impalas. It's crazy expensive right now. And I wanted one. So anyway, I sold some other stuff I had and I bought that Impala. So I have a 59 and I have that, and then I'm probably gonna put my 61 Buick on another one of these cop cars, and another one I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with yet. Maybe one of my Cadillacs. I have 4 Cadillacs. I got a 60 Coupe de Ville. I have a 61 Coupe de Ville. I have a 60 Coupe de Ville. I have actually 2 61 Coupe de Villes. I have 1 62 Coupe de Ville. I forget what I have. Shit. Anyway, so maybe I'll put one of my Cadillacs on there. I don't know yet. Problem with Cadillac is the wheelbase is much larger, so I gotta stretch it. I'm not really gonna stretch it. This is a lot of work, and then you're starting to get an integrity of the chassis and everything. I like to leave the floor pans as much as possible flat, original. But again, imagine the engineering that went into that car, okay? You get all of that, okay? The front and the back work together, okay? The suspension, the brakes, everything is ready to go, okay? The cool thing about the ones that I have that are drivers, they were wrecked. They were hitting the front, were kind of light. I don't get the real bad ones. I just get the ones that look like they went in a truck or something like that. The real bad ones, I don't want bent frames and that kind of stuff. Even though sometimes they're a little bit, and I have them squared to make sure they're good before I do the swaps. The way to go is to get one, like I said, that runs and drives. That way you get the motor and tranny. The only reason I'm using this one is because I got it for free and it's sitting here, and the Impala's right here, so we're going to put the two together. Right now we're finishing up this Buick chassis swap, and it's almost off the lift, so we can bring this dude down and start cutting it up. We're going to trim it down. I'll show you how we're going to do that. I'm going to save a few pieces off it. I have a Caprice of my own that I'm my daily driver, 2016. So I want to keep some of the pieces from this, and in the future they don't make them anymore. So I'm going to keep the doors and the trunk lid, and probably keep the glass out of it and a few other things because it's can't get it anymore. So that's my deal with the upcoming body swap on a 61 Impala on a 2013-ish Caprice. Now they made these from, I want to say, 2009 through 2016. There was a generation change in the middle. They went from a column shift or from a floor shift to a column shift. There's a few other upgrades. The later ones are probably much better. That's why I got one, because I wanted to see what it was like. It was about the same as my earlier one I had. But this car is still leaps and bounds better than that Impala, and leaps and bounds better than anything you're going to bolt into it. Anything one of these companies that makes the suspension, anything that you're going to come up with, that Impala is going to be, or that Caprice is going to be better than what you can buy for that Impala. So, wasting your time going out for, identity stuff or hatch kiss suspension, that stuff is stupid expensive. Okay, all you do is take a piece of already engineered equipment, okay, and just make it out of tubing. Big friggin' deal, okay, and they charge you $2,000 for it. It's stupid. Okay, this has everything on it you're gonna need. So anyway, stay tuned for the Impala on the Caprice chassis body swap. It's going to be pretty cool, and I am a trendsetter, so we'll see. It can be pretty badass. See you later. Adios.